Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited about my first 20 subscribers. This is my first ever episode on this here YouTube. I'm Zia Zebra. My actual name is Jatavia Parks. I really love my name. My mom told me the story when she was getting her hair braided while she was pregnant with me. Our cousin Cheryl happened to just pop up with my name, and that's how my unique name came to be. I'm from Lubbock, Texas, where they say everything is big in Texas. About my hometown, it's a very small city. It's not very well known like Dallas, Texas or Houston, Texas. My mom had me when she was just 15 years young. So things were very shaky for her. My grandparents did have to step in, but she has always been there as well. She attended college and she also was a party girl. So it was much on her end. I didn't really move in with my mom until I was about in the 6th grade. Me and my two younger siblings moved in, and she's been good with to us ever since. And I'm the oldest. I appreciate my mom and my grandparents a lot. My father was not in my life. I have two brothers on my dad's side. I know a little bit about my younger brother. I would go visit him at this house, and one day I tried to go back and visit that house. No one was there, so I guess he obviously moved. I never seen him ever since then. And my older brother, I know nothing about. My dad really was just in and out my life. It never really was just a steady father and daughter relationship. Last time I seen him would have to be in like 2015, and it was kind of awkward. But I don't even think he stayed where I'm at. I think he's like elsewhere. Well, I did not used to dress like this. I did used to be a more tomboy slash nerd. I was very shy. I still am shy, just a little bit more outgoing. I wouldn't even wear spaghetti straps. I felt like it was just revealing too much, and I was just always wearing big oversized t-shirts, baggy pants. I always had closed-toe shoes, like dusty Converse. They were my favorite. I was just kind of on my Billie Eilish at a young age. Around like 6th and 8th grade, that's when I really tried to pull out of my comfort zone. I wanted to be pretty like other girls. I wanted to kind of fit in. I wanted guys drooling over me too, sis. But in that process of me trying to be more girly, I also was bullied by other girlies because I didn't match one day, or I had on different prints and patterns that were just funky. Some girls was pressed about it. Some girlies was like, oh my gosh, that's different. But they would just have they say for whatever I had on that day. I'm born in 1994. Yes, I am a 90s baby. My birthday is August 5th. It recently just passed. I am a Leo, which is the fire sign, and I am 26 years young. Going through school, I was myself, but then not myself. I really found myself trying to fit in and just be someone I'm not. But being a teenager, you can go through a phase where you feel like you're nowhere, so you just want to fit in somewhere. But at the same time, I knew that I was very much unique in my own way. I had a very open mind at a young age, and it's not too many people with a very good open mind. And also going through school, like I never really just had a lot of friends. The only time I really made friends was about in that middle school to high school, where I was really trying to fit in, not being myself. So I think I kind of made friends that really just didn't fit in with me. Speaking of high school, I was supposed to graduate in 2013, but it just did not go like that for me. I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason and failure teaches you a lot. I happened to miss 2 or 3 questions behind on the test. I remember taking the test about 3 or 5 times, and I would just miss behind 2 or 3 every time. And it was a science subject, and I swear science was my favorite. High school seemed very embarrassing for me because of that moment. I felt like other people labeled me as dumb, so I labeled myself as dumb. My confidence really just sunk, and I quit hanging out with friends. I quit going places like partying, being around big social events. And I just went into a depression for about 2 years or so. I was just really a ghost under a rock. The process of that depression for about 2 years, I found myself losing confidence, not hanging out with friends, just really losing myself. After being depressed for about 2 years or so, I did end up graduating in 2015 when it was supposed to be 2013. I really just didn't have the motivation to hop into college like that. So I ended up working a job, which was at Domino's, and then I started working at Forever 21, which was in the mall. Both jobs really gave me a good experience and I learned a lot. Plus, it was my first time working retail. I got to be myself, help customers with bomb outfits, and just being around a closed, dope environment. And Domino's was awesome as well. I got to meet very good people, and it was always free pizza and discounts. It was just another good environment overall. But being depressed for those 2 years is that I did learn that I was at her wasting my time being sad or depressed over a moment that happened to me, and that high school does not last forever. You only have one life to live and life goes on. So I got motivated for college right before the pandemic. I actually found something I was interested in, which is psychology. It's studying the human behavior, which is in the science field. Right when I'm getting my things ready and my papers, trying to get into this college, the pandemic hits. Like, I didn't even get to start or have my first experience of college. I really got upset. I was very unmotivated because they're talking about it's only going to be classes online because of the pandemic. And I wanted that in-person action because I never even got to be in a college and it would have been my first experience. So I kind of just passed on that. I know a vaccine will be available for us to get back to normal, so-called, but I'm not really just a big fan of the vaccine. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do in the future. A couple years ago, I had to end up getting the flu shot because I was very sick. Um, After I got that flu shot, which is nothing better than the vaccine, I was just fine. I haven't caught a cold ever since, but I don't want to jinx myself. I've learned from this pandemic that anything can happen and you only have one life to live. Don't let one bad thing, bad moment trick you into thinking that you have this horrible bad life. I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason and you really learn a lot from failure. I also currently work this seasonal job. It's a hard labor working job and I currently just got laid off. And when I get laid off, I get paid benefits. So yes, I'm a benefits paid hoe for sure. And job searching. Speaking on this pandemic and epic change, I do have my third eye open. What I do mean by that is I'm a firm believer of a higher being, and I do keep up with facts from conspiracy theorist channels or whatever you want to call those channels. Been open since about 2018. I'm very grateful to listen and speak on things that people don't day by day actually. So I was in a serious relationship in like 2014. I met a guy when I was slight depressed still. He happened to catch my eye and I've been rocking with him ever since. Been on and off with the same guy for about 7 years. In that 7 years, I was insecure, he was insecure. I had issues, he had issues on his part as well. It's been him for 7 years, even though there has been other people. The love has always been for him for the 7 years. He was like my best friend. We really conversated as best friends. We were very close, did everything together. We also had lots of sex which caused a lot of feelings and emotions and just a real tight soul attachment connection with that guy. I think he'll always be one of a kind. But you know that person that you love so much that you just can't get along with, be with. Yes, like that. So I've been back and forth from Dallas since like 2018, since my recent relationship. First time I was there for about 4 to 5 months. It was a crazy good experience. I fell in love with the scenery, the environment, just the city life. I also met some good people as well. The second time was very recently of this year of 2020. Things ended very fast this time. And I was only there for about 3 months. When I say it was pointless, sis. But whatever, I'm back here in Lubbock and I would love to move sometime soon. But right now, I am not on my own. I'm in the process of being on my own. It's actually getting built. I'm just very grateful to be moving forward and moving on with my life. Because next, I'm healing, taking things day by day because that's all that I can do. Went through a lot this year of 2020. I've dealt with depression before for so long, and I'd be damned if I ever have to go back to that position. I'm not really going into too much detail, but moral of the story is some men ain't and don't allow them to waste your precious time because you cannot get that precious time back. Chose to be celibate after my last relationship. Friendships, benefits, whatever the you want to call it. This whole year was just trash. I'm like interested in no one in my hometown at this point. But I never know what can happen. That's all I'ma say. I'm slowly coming back to myself, trying to make more friends. I do have a good friend that wants to help me develop a business, and I do appreciate him. And I also have a couple of homegirls that I smoke and chill with and vibe, and I do appreciate them. My older friends tried to reach out to me, but that was in the years of when I was depressed. So I really didn't reach out like that. I really didn't reach out like that as well because I think I'm way too much on another level than what my old friends are kind of on. No, I do not have any children. I would love to be a boy mom sometime in the future, but I would need a man who's willing to be a consistent father because I never had that consistent father in my life and I wouldn't want to repeat that. But at the same time, I'm pulling a Nicki Minaj. I'm just in my early 20s and I want my success. I've had a good interest in clothes ever since I was about a teenager. That's when I really started wearing fun outfits. I've always thought sewing has been pretty cool. Every time I would go out and go buy something, it never was how I bought it. I would add my special cut designs. I would sometimes add a couple of bleach dyes to like a top or a pair of pants. It never was just how I bought it. I remember I tried to take a sewing class in high school thinking I'm going to get hands-on hand action when actually it was a fashion marketing class, which was still useful, but I would love to relearn that type of information. I would love to look into a business or look into business sometime when I'm ready in the future. So I got my hands on a sewing machine in 2019, which was recently. It was hand me down from a family member, which was my Grams. Yeah, I said Grams. You can tell I watched Charmed. She used to sew, so all her leftover material was hand me down to me, like her pins and threads, which was very good for a beginner because I didn't have to go out and go buy anything. It was all hand me down to me. I wish I would have got into sewing a long time ago, but I'm here now. I've been interested and I'm willing to be consistent. So I used to be a tomboy. I kind of grew up building my confidence. Around the age of 12 and 15, I really wouldn't show any skin. I was on my Billie Eilish and then blooming, wearing, and liking many different odd things, just figuring out myself and my style. I just fell in love with my confidence ever since. I've been playing games ever since I've been a teenager. I kind of was an introvert. I still somewhat am. I grew up playing games like Spyro, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is also one of my favorite games. Melina is my favorite character, by the way. And most importantly, The Sims. I grew up playing The Sims 1. The Sims 2 will forever be my fave. I remember I played The Sims 3, but I really don't remember. But I did play The Sims 3 and most definitely The Sims 4. The Sims 4 is what I play. So I got a love for all genres of music. I listen to some rock, pop, hip hop, R&B, and etc. I do listen to some heavy metal, but no country. I know you're like, heavy metal, but no country. Yeah, I like smoking, drinking, vibing, exploring out to new music, just finding out new things. When someone puts you on to good taste of music, that is a love language. Was supposed to start a YouTube way before the pandemic, especially because I got into sewing, which was in 2019 recently, even though I've always been interested. I've got so caught up with wasting my own time and more, it will creep up on you. This pandemic taught me you never know what's to come. God works in mysterious, beautiful ways. Just taught me don't let anyone waste your time, especially not yourself. It's dangerous to fall asleep on yourself. So get off your ass and do that thing you've been wanting to do for months, sis. Enough about me. Now what my channel is about. I do have favorite fashion eras. Would have to be in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. The fashion was just dope to me. I want to speak on trends that have come to pass and trends that are currently still in as we speak. On my channel, I also want to show more women who don't do their makeup how to apply a full face contour. I love the feeling of putting other women on. I've never been too stingy. I'm all about uplifting other women because it's really needed in the Black female community. I will be giving tips and tricks on how to snatch a synthetic wig or an old dusty wig you want to bring to life. I'm willing to give tips and tricks on how to do that for yourself. DIYs are fun to me. I love being creative. I will be sharing some DIYs that I have done for myself and some that will be completely new. I will be featuring my sewing creations that I have made in my journey as well. Also be having some girl talks, like some women to women conversations that'll boost your confidence and more, just more women uplifting other women because it's needed in the Black community. Try on hauls I will be doing on my channel from like thrift shops, online stores, anywhere that I shop at. I'll be willing to show you guys. So you can be cheap and cute. You don't need money to have style, sis. Also a health freak, I will be giving tips and tricks on working out and healthy foods that I have made, daily vitamins that I take, and healthy teas that I recommend. I do have favorite music vids. Ever since I was a teenager, I would just sit on the couch as if I'm Beavis and Butthead. And I grew up watching MTV, BET. MTV was my favorite though. I have favorite series as well. They all contain having mad style from different eras. I grew up playing The Sims as a teenager, and I also want to feature The Sims game and where I download my custom content to where and how I create a beautiful sim and just exploring more. Well, that's the end of this video. I thank you guys for tuning in and getting to know me and what the heck my channel is about. I'm excited for the most part. I'm Zia Zebra.